relegation tournament. We have OMG, their rivals for today, will be fighting to try and keep their LPL dreams alive next year. But for now, they're going to go up against one another in their last match in the LPL Summer Split. First up, it's going to be OMG that ban out Rumble and Lissandra, whereas the side of LGD, who will be on the red side today, have taken away the Maokai as well as the LeBlanc.
Yeah, exactly. And so the Rumble pick was hilarious because LGD going up against RNG, Rumble was first rotation, always taken away from them. And so you take Marin off of that Rumble, see interesting stuff.
And Marin has shown that he can go 1-8 on this Rumble and still win games for LGD and stay even on gold against his top lane opponents. But Syndra will be the last ban that comes out from OMG, who has been seeing a lot of play recently, and it was the man that he's being banned out against, Wayless, who brought it back into the LPL, whereas Malzahar was the final ban that came out from LGD.
Yeah, and so LGD, they take away the Maokai, which has been Xiang's big point. The rest of the picks that they've taken out, just meta. They don't want to deal with that meta. I would definitely think that they would ban Malzahar on blue side just as well. That's just not Wayless's pick. So that's interesting from them. It just really revolves around what they're comfortable playing.
And it seems like OMG are comfortable with first picking Hecarim, a jungler that we see played quite frequently in the LPL.
Exactly, and so the meta has just been centered around Hecarim, Shen, Ashe, Malzahar, you know, that pick style that has been going around. So with Shen still available and Ashe, question is whether they look towards it, but it doesn't really matter. Hecarim has just been the pick anyone has looked for.
And there's a big takeaway from LGD as well. They've played 4 games of Hecarim out of their last 5 matches in the LPL, so they don't want Intruder to get his hands on that champion. Normally defaults back to Rek'Sai when the Hecarim is taken away, or you can throw in the Kha'Zix here and there. But we'll have to see what LG decides to pick up as their next 2 picks. And it's going to be Lee Sin that gets locked in for Intruder in the jungle.
Yeah, thank God for that. The Hecarim takeaway is a blessing, I'm going to be honest, because when LGD go for the Hecarim pick, they go for that Thunderlord's Hecarim with the scaling lanes as well. So they never really have that pressure in the early game that they need. And so taking away Hecarim, now you see the Lee Sin and the Thresh. That is an early game strength if I have ever seen one. And so good first step, perhaps a little bit too far. I have not seen Intruder on that Lee Sin, and so it's going to be interesting to see how he goes. That is a great takeaway from Joydre.
It certainly is. Joydre has been shown that he's a great Lee Sin player. Now LGD, putting on their best TBQ impression in the jungle, seeing what Intruder can bring back for this team. On the flip side, OMG, they decided to lock in Poppy, another champ that we've seen Xiang pick up in the top lane whenever the Maokai is banned out against him.
Exactly, that's a good point, see, because when Malzahar was taken away, he was just as happy picking up that Poppy. And when you give him Poppy, he creates a lot of space and makes a lot of amazing plays for his team, especially that one point where he got two knockout from the Baron, got a Baron steal. Right? He's fairly influential with the pick.
On top of that, OMG are going to be locking in Tahm Kench as their support of choice heading into this match against LGD.
Yeah, Tahm Kench has been coming back very strong for OMG specifically. Last time we saw them pick up on that Tahm Kench support. 5 was around the map. You just see constant 5-man picks here and there. So it's fun to see it on him. You know, last time they saw it, last time you played it against Vici, Vici just straight up banned it.
He did play in the first match when they played against Vici, and then the next 2 games, no longer had control of that champion. Was also crucial in their final match victory against RNG last week. For now, though, we're going to see what their final 2 picks are as Imp locks in his Twitch here, and we also will see Marin playing his Gnar up in the top lane. So lots of comfort picks coming out from LGD in their final match.
That's just been LGD. They do go for those comfort picks. So constantly, it feels like LGD's meta is you're just battling against LGD's meta. So Twitch, great champion for Imp, and I always love seeing Marin's Gnar.
Certainly do. He's had a few big highlight plays on that champion in the LPL. On the flip side, OMG, they decided to give SMLZ a run on the Tristana today.
Yeah, Tristana and Victor. The Tristana, I'm never sold on Trist. I understand that there's a lot of safety for her. There are a lot of sieging potential with that champion. So with Tristana and that Tahm Kench support, you see a lot of safety for SMLZ, but it's an interesting pick. I'm not too sold on it.
We'll have to see how SMLZ utilizes this champion. Still waiting to see what Wayless is going to be playing in the mid lane here today. I mean, he's been a unique character, Raz. I think Atlas mentioned it earlier. He did play a Hextech Gunblade Corki recently in one of their victories, and that was against RNG. He's been He's brought back the Syndra. He's played a couple of other champions here and there. And he's going to be locking in Diana today in the mid lane.
Wayless. I love the idea and I hate the idea. Like, one thing about Wayless is that he just has his own pool. He does not care about what's popular. Malzahar, take it away from the map. Just Vladimir, I don't want to see it. Vladimir was available. He just did not want to go for it.
Yep.
So it's Diana for Wayless.
Yep.
That's the thing with LGD is that they're just centered around whatever they're comfortable on. And generally speaking, what they're comfortable on, people just don't play.
Well, I tell you what, we had a lot of questions about Wayless when he picked up these unorthodox picks in the mid lane, and every single time he's answered those questions because he's been performing phenomenally since he rejoined the LGD roster. We'll have to see how this Diana does against the Victor in the mid lane today.
Yeah, I mean, he has his picks, the Corki last time we saw him, but I just don't like the selfishness coming out of him, right? Especially since you have Marin and Imp looking to play those hyper carry roles, or just those carry roles in general. I think Punish did well in providing that stance.
Well, let's see if his selfishness pays off in game number 1 between LGD and OMG. And we're on to Summoner's Rift for the first match of this best-of-3 series between OMG and LGD. Like we mentioned earlier, as this game does not affect the standings in the summer split of the LPL. It's the final match that these two teams will play during the regular split, but both of these teams are locked in for promotions and relegations, and they will be trying to fight to assert their dominance, so to speak, before they head into that tournament.
Exactly, and so there is no time to lose motivation.
Hello. There's a hook onto 5 as well as an exhaust. It's a 4-man death rush in the bottom lane for LGD. 5 has flash. He uses an exhaust. Intruder goes under the turret as well. They burn the summoner spells of the support and a flash from their jungler. But already at level 1, LGD are being cheeky.
Yep. So that's fun. That's a fun thing. Flash being taken away from Lee Sin does not matter at much. But Tahm Kench without flash, without exhaust, that's devastating. 100% you want to lane swap that. You do not want to go to lane without flash exhaust.
I tell you what, though, whoever it was that was not down in that death rush with LGD, you know, they're getting flack right now from the rest of the team.
Yeah, you know, why are you getting caught out there, buddy? What's happening?
Well, like you said, it will be a lane swap. It's going to be initiated by OMG after the disastrous start in the bottom lane for 5. So Tristana and Tahm Kench will head towards the top side of the map. Imp and PYL will be starting on the bottom side of the map, looking to take down the Gromp camp at level 1.
Yeah, so we are seeing a lane swap. Very smart. As I said, if you're a Tahm Kench, you already have issues in terms of your how awkward it is in your laning phase and in general, because you don't have that much mobility. So you're already losing the combat strength with your exhaust, and you can't escape if you do get ganked by that Lee Sin. So get out of there. Going into a different lane entirely.
For now, though, we're taking a look at the mid lane there. Icon up against Wayless. A Victor against a Diana here today. And Wayless already taking quite a bit of harassment from the Victor, getting poked out constantly here. But Wayless just puts up the shield whenever he possibly can and tries to return the trade whenever he can too.
Yeah, so that's just how the matchup is for Diana in general. She's going to look to shove, take W first, the shield that just, you know, she's going to try and shove into tower as much as possible. Getting traded on.
That's an early Ignite coming out from them. Here's a flash forward from Seong, actually, looking to try and collapse on towards the mid laner. Forces the flash coming out from Diana, so Summoner spells traded between the two mid laners.
Yeah, and they just know how that matchup's going to work, because Diana, once she gets 6, once she even gets maybe level 4 or 5, it's going to be great for her. She can assassinate or just look to harass Icon. But up until then, Icon can harass constantly with autos, Q, laser, can do anything and everything. And Wayless, all he's going to be looking to do is shove under tower with his passive.
And it's already forced Wayless to burn his teleport to get back into the mid lane. Went back to base, picked up a pink ward as well as a refillable potion, so no extra combat stats, going straight back into this lane up against Icon, who's already been doing so well. We will see the lane swap commence between OMG and LGD. The top lane outer and bottom lane outer turrets will be falling down for both these teams. And this mid lane still fairly isolated, but Dredre is looking for a gank here. Wayless has no summoner spells, and Icon has already laid down the hurt. Diana's going to be taken down by the Hecarim for first blood.
Yeah, goodbye, buddy. We know your flash timing is down. They're going to go right back to that lane, especially in a lane swap where your jungler is going to be completely free, right? Generally, in a lane swap, your jungler is going to look to farm, has no real pressure on his pathing. So he's just going to head right back in there. It was a great look from Poppy in general to look and take that flash away to start.
You know, picking up this Diana really reminds me of the Cassidy pick that we saw Wayless pick up in one of their matches against Team WE. It's pretty much the same story, just brings all this pressure into the mid lane. It seems like when he gets ganked that hard, he just can't quite assert his dominance over the opposite mid laner.
Well, one thing about Wayless is that he just asserts pressure, and that's it, right? In fact, there was a point against RNG where he would look to 1v1 anyone who came towards him. He even got baited at some point. MLXG just said, okay, well, you're 1v1ing me. I'm just going to let you sit here as my teammates just come down and converge on you.
Well, meanwhile, SMLZ's gone aggressive towards Myron, gets a lot of damage down. Siang now also getting ganked here by Intruder, does land a Sonic Wave and Resonating Strike, but no support behind him to assist with the gank onto OMG's top laner.
And although, just a big point about this lane swap, although OMG were forced into this position because their standard lanes were compromised, standard lanes are great for them. I mean, the lane swap is great for them because Tristana can just burn these towers very quickly. The fact that Poppy even looked to go and gank that mid lane, take a bit of tempo away so she didn't travel to that lane immediately, it was completely forgiven. Did not matter all too much. He's just burning straight through these towers.
Essentially, it's SMLZ getting good damage down on towards these turrets. 5 decides to eat the Tristana. Not sure why there, Raz. But they do have a teleport coming in for Siang to assist. We're taking down the final outer turret in the side lanes as LGD work on the top lane outer turret as well.
Yeah, when that happens, I just trying to figure out what he's trying to do. Because if he just eats a minion, throw it into the back line of the rest, then you pretty much burn it through.
I tell you what, Raz, I think there was one or two things going in his mind. He can eat the minion and assist with the lane swap, or he can eat eat SMLZ and troll him a little bit. I think I would have gone for that second option.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that, especially if you're... if you're playing Poppy, if you're playing Tahm Kench randomly in a game, just look for that random troll. It's like, okay, I know you're about to kill this guy, but I'm just going to set him free. Just going to pop him away with my hammer. I like that. So don't play a game with me. When I play Poppy, just escape.
Well, I know you're a big fan of the Poppy, Raz. We've seen you play quite a few of the games on Poppy recently.
Yeah.
And I think Frosco and I were quoting you quite a bit on the desk last night.
Yeah, a little bit too much. But yeah, OMG do take that. They do find a lot of tempo in that lane swap, and they end up getting a dragon for it, which is one of the only reasons I would like Poppy, the Tristana, is that you can get a lot of openings just based off your quick push. So I'll hand it off to Poppy, to Tristana here.
So OMG making the best out of a bad situation here. 5's summoner spells are back up and online, so he's been able to survive that early laning phase through this lane swap as a flash forward comes out from the Tahm Kench, looking to lock down Mara, and he has no flash of his own. OMG looking to try and secure a kill on the top side of the map, but mid lane, Whaler's getting jumped on by Dredre. The ultimate's being burnt. He tries to jump over towards the Raptor Can, successfully gets away, but SMLZ throws another rocket out and will pick up a kill in the top lane.
The worst thing about the fact that Marin got killed was because they had the wards to catch him. You cannot stay that long. I say this every time I cast LGD's games because Marin puts himself in these positions constantly. Either he's in a lane swap and he just stays under tower and gets killed by 4 people, or in this case, he just stays way too long, gets chased forever. They expend heal, sure, FSML does not have heal now, but that's 1 kill that he should not have had.
Certainly is, and now Marin's stuck at level 4 here. Whaler's getting ganked again in the mid lane. Dredre goes in between the turrets.
Yeah.
Trying to look for that opportunity, just burns the flash away from Diana.
And that's one real weakness about Diana. In a lane swap, sure. In standard lanes, probably even worse, is that you're just going to get focused down by about every single person that can. So now, Diana does not have flash now. You can bet that he timed that. So for the next about 4 minutes, you can expect a little bit more people coming to punish Wayless.
Big props to Wayless though. He's been able to keep up in terms of CS, only about 10 CS behind Icon despite the repeated attempts coming out from Dredger to gank him in the mid lane, as well as people like Xiang showing up randomly at times. We also saw Imp head in towards OMG's jungle. He took away red buff for himself. Even leaves the 2 little minions there so that responds a little bit later.
Yeah, a nice cheeky steal.
And even Whaler's doing a little bit of counter jungling as well as he heads on over towards the Raptor camp. He's been farming up these religiously on both sides of the map, trying to keep up in CS wherever he possibly can.
And so that's something great about how he's playing Diana right now. Though he is getting punished, he'll get to level 6 point. In fact, he's level 7 already. He's gotten to a point that anybody who can walk up to him will feel the pain. So now you really do, especially if you're Icon right now in this lane, you have to watch out, not get tagged by that Q. If you do, you will lose the oncoming trade.
Even has his Stinger built up on this Diana, so looking for Nash's Tooth as his first item. Lots of consistent damage will come out from that item as well as the passive that Diana has. Whereas OMG decide they want to rotate a couple of members towards this mid lane to assist with pushing for their final outer turret. Like you mentioned earlier, Raz, Tristana takes these down fast, but LGD not going to give it up without a fight. They're looking to try and get a flash on towards SMLZ. Wayless gets some good damage down. 5 is going to eat him, but Intruder's already gone. Icon's the next target here as the Victor will get taken down by Wayless. It's just a 1-for-1 trade in the mid lane.
Incredible look by Intruder, able to trade kills off of it, but they got more because POIL is a Thresh God. Simple trade, but they pushed him out from the turret, and that's all you really want to do.
And he's also given Wayless some breathing room here. In fact, he's caught up with CS against Icon, even picked up a kill there. Meanwhile, Imp in a little bit of trouble there, as Xiang puts down a bit of damage as Poppy.
Yeah, but Twitch still has Flash, so next fight that comes down, he's going to be all right.
We'll have to keep track of Imp, who is going to be picking up his Youmuu's Ghostblade shortly, the first item for the Twitch. We also have to see what SMLZ decides to pick up. Seems like he's going for Youmuu's as well on this Tristana. Getting lots of attack speed as Wayless now getting jumped on in the mid lane. 5 is looking to try and get a gank off as well. Puts the exhaust down on towards the Diana. Icon shows up and picks up the kill for himself.
Yeah, one great thing about Wayless is that he tests his limits. One bad thing about Wayless is that he tests his limits. So definitely going to die for that. Unfortunate, definitely should be able to catch that out. It's just been a thing about him, really.
Double-edged sword if I've ever seen one for LGD. Right, and it kind of sums up the way LGD really played this game.
Yeah, but it's still fine for him. Once he does get that Nashor's Tooth, which he usually goes for when he does play the Diana, you'll find him immediately in a side lane, and he's just going to be constantly looking to challenge anyone that tries to split against him.
He also has that teleport, which is not up just yet, but will be back up in a couple of minutes. So we'll be able to split push effectively and aid to his team's global map pressure. Marin has his teleport up and ready. So does Xiang. Icon, though, decides to pick up Ignite for a little bit of kill pressure in the mid lane. And Wayless will be able to take down blue buff for himself.
In fact, it looks like they're going to make that swap now. He does not need the Nashor's Tooth. Just going to find himself walking mid, especially since mid turret has been threatened by OMG a few times.
And it's also 25 seconds until the next dragon spawns on Summoner's Rift. We saw OMG control that first Drake with great success. And they'll probably look to try and continue doing just that and keep up in terms of objectives. The 2 turrets to 2 and 4 kills to 1 with a nice 1,000 gold lead at the moment.
Ooh.
Bottom lane though, SMLZ in a little bit of trouble. It's going to be 5 that comes down to try and assist him, as well as Jetra is going to take the ride, as Intruder going to take a bit of damage here. Wayless now the one that's in trouble as Xiang collapses on towards him, but Intruder on the wrong side of the map gets taken down by SMLZ. Wayless trying to fight his way out of that, but it's not going to be possible against Jetra as a double kill comes out for OMG.
All right. OMG out skirmishes the skirmish champs in LGD. Definitely something I mentioned earlier on, especially since 5 is on that Tahm Kench. If you do look to challenge them in a skirmish, they will just bring every single person possible and challenge you. And so they just were able to get a few kills off of it, and now maybe even the dragon on top.
Yep, seems like Jojo has his eyes set towards that objective. Icon's moved back into the mid lane, but Imp being a little bit of a cheeky devil there as he tries to go invisible to get a gank on towards Icon, who just stands his grounds and continue pushing continues pushing the minions on towards the mid lane outer turret. But OMG have collapsed on towards this objective and are looking to take down their own Mountain Drake to complement the Ocean Dragon that they picked up earlier.
Yeah, OMG right now, they're out skirmishing, they're out playing the map, and at the same time, now they have a few neutral camps, or just the dragons, to their name. So they're riding high, they're doing incredibly well. The last time we saw them going up against Vici, I believe, they were actually outplaying them on the map. Their map pressure and their rotations have been improving quite a bit throughout the season, and it looks like it's just not stopping.
You know what, now that I think about it, Raz, this is a big grudge match between LGD and OMG, because when LGD lost their match to RNG, it was in OMG's hands to keep them alive in the game. OMG had to defeat Vici to keep LGD's hopes alive. They're not going to be happy that they lost that game, Raz, because OMG was so close. They were onto the Nexus, and they lost that match to Vici.
OMG is doing them no favor, because especially since if that happened anyways, LGD would have gone into the playoffs if they had beaten OMG today. So, of course, OMG is going to recognize that and say, well, we don't want to lose to you. That doesn't make any sense to us.
LGD definitely would not want to lose to the team that were not able to help them keep their playoff dreams alive either. You can already see it as been a bloody match already, mostly going in favor of OMG so far, giving them a nice 2,000 gold lead 14 minutes into this game, as well as 2 dragons above LGD. The Ocean Dragon helped them out quite a bit with making sure they're nice and topped off, as well as the Mountain Dragon helping them with taking down future epic monsters as well as structures getting burnt down rather quickly.
So yeah, one thing that has been interesting to me is the fact that SMLZ is going for that armor penetration, or at least just the quick spike in the Youmuu's Ghostblade. I wonder what he's going to go for now. He might end up mimicking Imp's build in the sense that he just probably looked to go for straight attack speed in a Hurricane.
For now, though, he's looking to just try and take down this mid lane turret. As PYL going to get collapsed on. Treacher wraps around the back, and with the help of Xiang takes him down. But it's a 2-man gang squad from LGD on the back lines. Whalers actually to get away. Marin is mega, knocks SMLZ into a wall, but 5 saves the day. But the rest of LGD now collapsing. Ips popped his ultimate. Xiang's low. Whalers gets a double kill in the midst of that fight. Only 5 and Icon left remaining here as the 2 final members for OMG. But LGD have a thing or two to say about that as they pick up 4 kills during that team fight.
My God, I was about to... And he's about to die? Goodbye. But I was just about to mention how OMG has been cleaning up LGD. 7 kills to 1, but then they turn it on a dime. That was just an amazing play from Marin. Marin has always been a great Nara player. It's not done yet.
Yep, Intruder's in a lot of trouble here. Icon, he was able to chase down Marin, finally able to chase down Intruder as well. The saving grace for OMG is that they get 2 return kills at the end of the fight.
Yeah, nice answer back, but that was just a clean dive, or at least it looked like a clean dive from OMG. They got a great kill. They wanted to back away, but Marin just did not let them, and so OMG has to watch out. LGD do have a lot of consistent damage coming out of this Twitch. And so if you ever overstep or overstay your welcome, Twitch will answer back in kills.
And it was able to do just that. You can see how much damage he dealt during that last team fight. OMG.
That's just LGD, though. They have a lot of threats in their composition. You may take 1 out, but they will have 3 to answer for you.
We even saw during that last fight, Marin was able to control his rage bar quite effectively, had it just nicely so that as soon as he was able to show up during that team fight, was able to turn into Mega instantly and used it quite effectively to lock down SMLZ.
Yeah, we criticize. Oh, there we go.
And so SMLZ gone here, I believe, as Whalers actually will get knocked back by the ultimate coming out from Tristana to go over the wall, saving grace for SMLZ. As up on the top side of the map, Mara going toe-to-toe against Xiang, and the rest of LGD looking to try and collapse on towards to help their top laner. Xiang will get kicked around by Intruder. Imp's going to go into invisibility to chase on towards the Poppy. Good stun comes out from Marin. Imp even throws out the lantern trying to get the assist there, but no help for him, but still great pick from LGD.
Yeah, an amazing pick from LGD. It's now finally them going to help out Marin.
And this is going to be scary. JJ looking to try and collapse on towards Intruder. Is now Imp getting collapsed on. Chaos Storm going to deal a lot of damage towards the Twitch, but he's able to go invisible just in time and escapes the death brush that was set up by OMG.
Oh, that laser.
But top lane, Marin's dead. Now Intruder was trying to hide away. Will get the lantern to safety. JJ is not able to interrupt him through the dark passage. And this whole time, Whalers just been battering down turrets in the bottom lane.
Trial and error play. LGD will challenge you. They will skirmish you. And at the same time, it seems like Whalers is at the bottom lane just taking tower after tower. OMG have been playing a clean game up until that point. LGD dragged them down to a very skirmish, unhealthy playstyle. And you know what? They got something out of it. LGD gets a tower to their name.
And on top of that, they've been able to pull the goalie back towards, closer towards their favor here. So now they're only about 400 gold behind OMG, and that says a lot, knowing that they are 4 kills behind OMG at the moment. But they've been able to trade turrets back quite effectively. Like you said, Whalers taking that one down in the bottom lane. It's now 4 turrets to 3. OMG still have the Dragon advantage, though, and the next Dragon is going to be spawning in 20 seconds. Just the Cloud Dragon, though. Yeah,
so old LGD doing incredibly well, just outplaying you in certain skirmishes, always challenging you to do that. But that is, I said it before, that's not a healthy way to play the game, especially since you're going into the tournament, going into the promotion tournament. You're going to be going up against a lot of teams that are just trying to fill in the fundamentals. And if LGD are failing at the fundamentals here, just trying to look to outplay you, there's a lot of talented players down there in the LSPL. So you have to look to play a clean game. And they just simply haven't up until this point.
Certainly have not so far, but whatever they have been doing, Raz, has definitely been working to try and get them back into this game. PYL looking for a hook, only lands on towards 5. Imp was trying to go invisible, see if he can get a flank on towards SMLZ. There's Intruder. He wants the scuttle grab, not going to get it as OMG secure the vision around the next Dragon. And you can already see since the Cloud Dragon, neither team looking to try and fight heavily for this objective.
Yeah, OMG, they have been having a lot of good control around this river. So actually taking down this Cloud Dragon, just speeding up the next process, the next Dragon, would do them a lot of good. Especially since I feel like their composition just doesn't scale all too well, especially since you're going up against Whalers, who's going to, he's going to be building up a lot of damage, penetration later on, looking to assassinate Victor whenever he can, especially maybe even that Tristana. So Whalers is going to be doing a lot, and you got to believe Imp on this Twitch will be doing a lot of damage. So speed up the process of this game, especially since you have quite a bit of a lead for yourself.
Now, though, both teams just taking a little bit slower. No more skirmishy action that we saw over the last 5 minutes. And right as I say that, LGD decide they want to try and take down Baron here, Raz. OMG, I think they smell a thing or two as they immediately moving away from the bottom side of the map. But it is a 3-man Baron attempt coming out from LGD.
Yeah, they haven't a clue, and I don't think they will for quite some time.
2,000 health. Intruder's got it pretty low. Finally, Xiang spots this one. It's winding up the ultimate, but it's way too late. LGD sneak a Baron off against OMG, and the only thing they're going to get for it is a Cloud Dragon.
LGD are the kings of just upsetting your tempo. You think you have the lead, and here comes a TP.
Yep, looking to try and collapse on towards these 4 members of OMG. Whalers was actually the one that teleports down, realizes a little bit too late, and just continuing what he has been doing for the last 5 minutes, which is just split pushing in the bottom lane.
Yeah, if he continues to split push, though, he has to watch out. 5 has his eyes on him, and here we go.
There's a ghost coming out from Jercher. Tom Kench is going to use the Abyssal Voyage to try and get closer down to the bottom side of the map. There is a teleport coming out from Mara. Now 5's the one that's been caught out slightly here. Icon is going to use the Chaos Orb to get some damage down. The grey health will be popped by Tom Kench. Going to go really low once that expires. The rest of LG is now shown up. Dark Passage from PYL gets Whalers to safety. Marin is almost mega. The hook lands onto Icon. There goes Marin. Not going to be able to get the Nara off onto 4 members as Imp is now escaping from his submarine to try and get some damage done, but it was simply saving Private Whalers right there.
OMG, it feels like they always get the right pick, the right idea, and then they feel very unsure as to what they're supposed to do in answer to LGD. LGD just gets a random Baron, and now they're just picking this fight.
Icon just turns around and kills PYL. Meanwhile, Intruder tries to flash on top of Icon. Will take down 5 on his way out. Icon trying to run away. SMLZ will join. That's a dead Intruder there as the Horsey collapses upon him. A 2-for-1 trade in favor of OMG.
Yeah, I was a little scared for Imp. You don't want to kick the Victor straight into your Twitch. But you know what? Intruder is the one that dies off that.
It certainly was. And now LGD for the first time this game are now in control of the gold lead, about 1,000 gold up ahead of OMG. And they do have a couple of big items being picked up as well. Marin went for the Frozen Mallet and now has gone for the Dead Man's Plate. So lots of health coming out from the Nana, as well as a couple of resistance items. Mid lane, Nash's Tooth was finally picked up by Wailers, but more importantly, he has that Zhonya's Hourglass as well, and he's going for a Lich Bane next.
Yeah, so right now there's a lot of strength to them. Oh, a little bit annoying there. But yeah, there's a lot of strength coming from Imp and just the team in general. Just look at Wailers. They can pick you off on these side waves. OMG can never overextend. Not even just overextend, but extending a little bit too far out. Looking for the second wave is overextending. So they have to start grouping as a team, challenging LGD to these objectives, because otherwise they will get picked one by one, and that's why they've gotten themselves in this position.
Well, LGD have been looking for those picks, but the last few times didn't quite work out for them. We're not able to secure the kills as Marin about to turn Mega here on the top side. About decides to hold on to his Rage Bar as long as he possibly can. Wailers being a little bit cheeky, trying to see if he can assassinate anyone in the mid lane. Hook will come out for PYL, does not connect onto Xiang, but Marin now collapsing. Nas the Poppy into the wall, gets the follow-up stun as well as the kickback coming out from Intruder. A flash over the wall from Wailers is going to be enough to take down the Poppy. Meanwhile, though, Imp is the one that's getting taken down. SMLZ is going to be eaten up by fire to get him to safety. Intruder goes toe-to-toe against Icon on the bottom left side of your screen, getting a lot of damage down towards the Lee Sin. There goes the Chaos Storm on top of 4 members of LGD. Wailers tries to do what he can only take down Icon for now. Marin is also collapsing, building up that Rage Bar again. Double kill did come out from Icon across that fight, but let's see if it's going to be enough. SMLZ goes toe-to-toe, eaten up by 5, but that's almost a Mega. Nah, the exhaust is going to be enough, as well as the stun, and OMG secure the fight. Wailers is trying to get in amongst of it, but he's tanking minion aggro, and 5 and SMLZ just going to try to collapse.
Wailers 1v1 the Hecarim. That was incredibly good by Marin. Oh, are they going to look to get him?
You can see Tristana jump straight towards the Tom Can, trying to bait the abilities out of the Diana, but that's not going to quite work.
Yeah, but this is awesome play from LGD in the sense that they should not have won that, but Marin coming in to break up the 3-man unit that were chasing down Wailers. Yeah, Wailers did a lot of damage. I can see that. he did a lot. And since he was able to 1v1 Joy, he was given that opportunity because Marin was threatening SMLZ, did slow him down. So SMLZ and 5 had to turn back and get that kill. And sure, they ended up killing Marin, but that saved Wailers quite a bit. And so if you don't focus down this Diana in these fights, she will do a lot of damage, especially with that Nashor's Tooth.
She certainly will. Even prevented SMLZ from getting the cleanup kill, as now Intruder looking to try and take away red buff from Jojo, is successfully able to win the Smite battle. Secures the buff for himself. We can see SMLZ, he's been a little bit unique in his item build here today. Raz, he's gone for a... Oh, meanwhile, Jojo actually getting ganked on there. Wailers just decides he's going to obliterate the horse again. I was about to say, that's a black cleaver coming out from SMLZ. Apparently it doesn't matter, Raz, because Wailers is just killing people across Summoner's Rift.
I can see the idea for why he would go black cleaver, but I'm just not... Here's my issue with Tristana. I feel like every build path you go on her is incredibly awkward. Okay. So I'm never a fan of Tristana. Later on in the game, I can understand her unique strength in just these tower takes. And I guess self-peeling for her just as well. But if you want self-peeling, there are other champions to go. There's Lucian, there's Ezreal. Just don't agree with Tristana.
Well, we can already see the gold swing that's gone so heavily in favor of LGD. You can see the graph on your screen there. OMG were in control of the game for majority of this match, all the way up until 20 minutes, where a couple of scrappy team fights from LGD pulled it back in their favor.
Nah, that was more so the Baron take that they got. LGD is a team that, yeah, they'll find themselves behind if their early shenanigans don't really work out. But if they don't work out, they'll just pull out more shenanigans. OMG had a lot of control on that dragon. They felt like, okay, this dragon control is incredible for us. They have to answer to us. LGD says, no, we'll go for this Baron run. They were just confident that they didn't walk past a ward. Had they walked past a single ward through that river, going up to that dragon, going up to that Baron, that simply would not have worked. But since that point, OMG have just been scrapping and scrapping, fighting against a Baron buff team. They must feel a little bit flustered.
Well, speaking of OMG's dragon control there, they just lost their first dragon of this match. LGD taking firm control over the dragon pit. Baron will be back up in 10 seconds as well, so LGD could look to try and sneak one of those or possibly force OMG towards that area and get good vision control over the map. Wayless is still doing what he's done for this entire match. It is now in the bottom lane, split pushing against anyone that OMG send down to him. Has completed that Lich Bane, so lots of damage will come out from this Diana.
Yeah, Lich Bane also completed by the Victor too, so damage is just coming from both teams. OMG will still take out team fights. If you go 5v5 up against OMG as a unit, you will lose. There's a lot of peeling coming out from them and a lot of zoning. So LGD have to watch out. LGD have to constantly play these side waves, never find themselves in a position where they have to go towards that dragon. They have to walk towards that Baron, right? Otherwise, they will be in a very awkward position.
The only one on the side of OMG that has magic resistance is Xiang. Even the Hecarim went for the Trinity Force into the Cinderhulk and now picking up a Randuin's Omen, I would believe. So there's very little magic resistance from OMG to kind of deal with this Wayless Diana, who's gone back to base and picked up a Guardian Angel for himself.
Well, I mean, you're going up against an assassin, the only AP damage on that team. You gotta believe if you're itemize for the AD, and when Wayless commits, because the only way he can actually get much damage off is if he looks to commit in these fights. So when he does, the onus is on 5 to exhaust and the rest of the team to pin her down. You don't have to itemize towards the only AP damage, especially if it's just a Diana.
Oh, that's MLC being really aggressive. Pops to Yomu's Ghostblade, jumps straight on top of the Twitch there, but takes too much damage in return as Imp does the exact same thing using his ultimate. And LGD, they go for this again. They sweep out one ward and immediately look to try and take down the Baron. This time it's just Intruder and Wayless. Xiang, once bitten, twice shy, understands that they're looking for this one and forces both of them to hop over the wall. Even looked like OMG want to try and start that one, but the rest of LGD are looking to collapse.
Yeah, trick me once. Fool on you, trick me twice. You fool me, can't get fooled again. That's my George push there. I'm sorry. Sorry, I had to put you through that. That was my impression there. But
it's frustrating when I need her.
But yeah, it just comes down to the fact that they knew that you have to respect LGD's Baron take. They did it the last time. Don't fool them twice. So great look by OMG. No more shenanigans from them. Diana does have Lich Bane and Nashor's Tooth. Here we go. A lot of sustained damage.
Jumped on, goes straight for SMLZ first. Uses the Zhonya's Hourglass to kind of stay alive a little bit longer. PYL will get the Dark Passage to keep him safe.
Dead.
There's Jetred charging on towards the Diana, who's still alive. Will finally get popped into that Guardian Angel. Xiang knocks Smarin out of the fight. They collapse straight back on towards the Diana again. They're not going to be able to take him down just yet. He tries to assassinate SMLZ, but one final auto attack will take down the Diana.
Yeah, that's the problem with the Diana pick. Can do a lot of damage, no doubt about it. But if you focus her down, especially onus is on Xiang here. If Xiang can pin her against the wall, then she won't be able to escape. And so now Guardian Angel on that Diana is down, and that's a lot of investment, a lot of gold investment down the drain.
And the gold is almost even between LGD and OMG as well. OMG only 1,000 gold behind LGD, so still a very close match between the bottom two teams of this group. And they're still fighting to try and hold on here. And Xiang moves on towards the Baron pit, just controls vision for OMG. They've been making sure they have good vision over towards this Baron since the first Baron take from LGD in this game.
You kind of have to. It feels like that's LGD's only play to get them back in the game. They have been playing with their side waves as they have to, but LGD realize that they do have to focus towards these objectives. Baron is up. It's 30 minutes into the game. They can't just send Diana bot once again and expect OMG doesn't just head straight towards that objective. So they're just trying to sneak it out away from them.
Well, that's given both teams some time to pick up more items for themselves. Top side of the map, both top laners have picked up quite a bit of resistance and health items, so be getting really tanky. You see both of the junglers pick up one damage item, go straight tank afterwards. There was the jungle item coming out from Intruder, Warriors enchantment there, whereas Dredger did get that Trinity Force. We see lots of Hackrins pick up. The Major's still looking to try and assassinate people. Big mention is Wayless's Guardian Angel will be down for the next couple of minutes. SMLZ continuing his unorthodox build with a Hurricane. And LGD's...
I mean, the Hurricane's fine. I feel like the Hurricane was the only thing that really... that makes sense. I'm going to be honest. So I like the Hurricane. Here's the biggest point. You mentioned the Guardian Angel being down for that Diana. Picking Diana last pick here, I didn't mention it before, is ridiculous. Because, especially since you know you're going up against the Poppy, Diana ulti is still a dash. You can actually pop her out of it. And so, if OMG groups up. If they get positioning on Baron, if SMLZ is on top of Siyoung and Siyoung can time it, or even just focuses on that Diana entirely in these fights, it's going to be difficult for Wayless to make a dent.
Certainly is. We'll have to see how that one pans out, because so far both these teams just been trying to avoid each other, it seems. Every single time LGD set up to try and get a flank, OMG diffuse it by moving to the opposite side of the map and getting back towards the safety of their turrets. And it just looks like all OMG really want to do is just try and farm up. The final Elemental Dragon has spawned. It is an Ocean Dragon. OMG and LGD both have one of these dragons each. And it's LGD that has control over the Dragon Pit. Seems like they're going to be the ones to take it down.
Yeah, 33 minutes into the game, especially since LGD is not a kite-back team, more of an all-in type engage and split push. It's not going to do them that good. In fact, I feel like that's their worst dragons to take, just a double Ocean. They would have been a lot happier if it was double Earth, especially since they were looking to burn down objectives quickly, so the enemy team doesn't really do much about that. But it's something. They'll take it.
Or even an Infernal Drake, but unfortunately for LGD, the Fire Nation's not deciding to attack today. And OMG are looking to just still farm up wherever they possibly can. Siyoung's now split pushing on the bottom side of the map. Mara on the side of LGD's on the top side. Both of them have their teleports available. Wayless is no longer split pushing. He's just grouping up in the mid lane with the rest of his team, just pushing out with Imp and PYL. And once again, back to a state of the game where both these teams are very comfortable, sitting back, relaxing, farming it up, waiting for time to pass.
One team that's not comfortable is OMG. OMG right now, they don't want to look for these skirmishes. The last couple times they has not treated them very kindly, especially since, sure, they don't have the gold lead, but compositionally right now they are ahead. They can take these full-on team fights, and Siyoung can split against Wayless. That's the one champion that Wayless will have a problem when dealing with.
Siyoung does have that Banshee's Veil, so able to mitigate one of the spells coming out from Diana. Also has the W to stop the dash coming out from Diana, so pretty good matchup for Siyoung at the moment.
Yeah, but for how long? I would believe the next item that Wayless gets, perhaps it might be the Rylai's Crystal Scepter. That's a lot of sustained damage, a lot of burst that Siyoung is going to be taking.
That's a teleport deep in towards OMG's jungle. Jertris spots it one out, has to run away. Icon caught out with the rest of his team. Five is there trying to help them out. The hook will land on towards OMG's support. There's a Mega now that's about to get into close quarters. Five will eat up SMLZ, but he does get taken down. The flash away from Trishana's not going to be enough, but huge damage from the Chaos Storm comes out from Icon. He's still alive and kicking as Intruder and Wayless try to do what they can. Icon's going over the back trying to take down Mara. Jertris got a double kill here, and it will be the Guardian Angel pop for Wayless once again, as well as Mara. Siyoung has to go toe-to-toe, but he's got two carries of LGD to deal with. Jertris goes back in, gets the kill, and a huge scrappy team fight between the two teams, and it's just going to be a 3-for-4 in favor of OMG.
If that was the massive advantage for LGD in terms of how they set it up. Siyoung actually took a very long time to get into that fight. He actually wanted to get his full HP, his full mana, just an item on top of that to be able to impact that fight. Look at that. Yeah, Victor does a lot of damage.
Yeah, Icon got a beautiful Chaos Storm during that team fight.
Exactly. And so predominantly that was a 4v5 in favor of LGD, but of course you take that full 5v5 team fight against OMG, you will lose. Not only is OMG an incredibly team fight oriented team, they do play very well together as a team, but they have a better composition for it.
And they certainly do, and it proved that during that fight. LGD waited for the Guardian Angel to be up on Wayless before they went for that teleport flanking play. Diana had that up as soon as he teleported into the fight. And it was also around the time when Marin bought his own Guardian Angel, so both Guardian Angels down on LGD's solo laners. So it gives them like another 4-minute halt between these two teams. Seems like LGD probably will not want to fight while that's down. OMG comfortable at the moment, not going for the skirmishes now that the gold is dead even between the two teams.
Yeah, LGD seems to be a very high risk, low reward type team. They go for these skirmishes, and right now the risk that they're making, of course they're taking these fights, they're taking these when they have the number advantage, but you can't take these team fights. But they're very comfortable with their team fighting, I suppose. But the amount of Guardian Angels they are accruing, and of course now losing, comes back to how much of a risk they're willing to take in terms of itemizing.
Well, a good one that was placed down by LGD actually completely spots out if OMG are baiting for this Baron buff, but it seems like now they've hit the go button and they're looking to take this one down. Intruders on the other side of the pit might actually go for a 50-50 smite because no one else from LGD here is trying to contest this one. Sion gets a great ultimate off to knock LGD back, and Dredge picks up the Baron. Murren gonna go in, about to hit Mega Gnar to transform, but he's gonna get stunned down by the gravity field. Xiang now is the one that's being caught out. The rest of OMG just retreat towards the safety of their side of the base. Poppy's Guardian Angel will get taken down. OMG do not look to try and help Xiang out, but instead content with taking down the Baron.
Yeah, I mean, if you look to help him out at all, you would put yourself in a very bad position. So great for OMG to back away. Bad on Xiang's positioning because that was actually fairly stealable. If Lee Sin looked to go for it, he could have actually stolen the dragon, and onus is on Xiang to zone the Lee Sin. So I don't like those 50-50s. It has to be on Xiang because 5 can't do it. You're a Tom Kench. No one else can do it on this team other than perhaps SMLZ and using his ulti. Or just make it easier on yourself. Make Xiang track the Lee Sin.
We're approaching 40 minutes into this game. Elder Dragon will be up in 40 seconds. And since both teams have 70,000 gold, it also means that most of these players are trying to pick up the components of their final items. You can see Marin actually completed his build, rounding it out with a Thorn Mail to mitigate some of the damage dealt by the AD carries from the side of OMG. Twitch even picked up a Vampiric Scepter looking for his final item, whereas SMLZ picks up a Chain Vest for himself, so probably going for a Guardian Angel on that Tristana.
Yeah, and they're grouping up for this dragon coming up in 10 seconds, but I'm not too sure if they want it.
They've got to be careful here because 5 going to get locked down. He just ate up SMLZ, who will be kicked away and then flashes away. 5 now pops to Grey Health, trying to keep himself alive. They do get a hook on towards Dredge. 5 will live to tell the tale, but Imp now spraying and praying, gets one. Wayless will find the kill on towards Dredge, and immediately LGD ping out the Elder Dragon.
Yeah, great scrap from LGD. That's what they wanted. They don't want to force a 5v5. They just want OMG to walk up without the rest of their team, and that's exactly what happened, and now they're gifted with this Elder Dragon.
So, Baron buff on towards OMG. That's got about 2 minutes left on it. A fresh Elder Dragon buff being picked up by LGD kind of brings this game back into a stalemate, as the gold is still dead even. Neither team has a distinct advantage at the moment.
And that's just all on OMG. OMG, from the very beginning of this game to this point, have just been floundering their advantage. They lost the Baron initially, right, when LGD stole it under them. That stalled out the game for quite some time. And now we're in a position where, yeah, the OMG, finally you picked that Baron fight, or at least you look to get it. That was great. You should have done it earlier. And now they got completely canceled out with LGD taking the scrap and the dragon to boot.
And on top of that, Wayless has also completed his items. He's gone back to base, picked up a Void Staff for himself. So that magic resistance that Wayless picked, Xiang picked up early, is now going to get cut almost in half by Diana's magic penetration. So lots of 6-item builds for these two teams. We approach the very late game. About 6,000 more gold for both the teams, and they'll all be at their completed items. It's actually LGD to try to push on towards and against the Baron up minions. They do have a big wave for OMG that's on the top side of the map. It seems like it's going to be Imp that is sent up there to deal with it. And he's going to be able to take the red buff on his way.
It was a good look, but as the game goes on, you're right, we're getting to that super late game portion of the game. 41 minutes, and it's only getting longer. Wayless is going to be a lot more of a nuisance. His structure damage is going to be incredibly potent. So the longer this game goes, it's going to be better for LGD.
They've caught Sion though with a good hook coming out from PYL. He's taken half his health in damage from the magic penetration of Wayless. 5 now tries to protect them. Marin does not have Mega Gnar, and even the Poppy ultimate has been used to keep Twitch out of that fight. So all in all, they live to tell the tale, but LGD were threatening with that Elder Dragon.
Yeah, you have to get yourself out of that position. They were cordoned off in that very, very slim jungle area. So if you really don't want to go up against Imp in that position with Elder Dragon burn. That is asking for death.
Wayless might be in a bit of trouble here as Xiang is trying to collapse on towards Diana. Dredge charging on forward as the Hecarim. PYL will put down the Dark Passage to pull his mid laner back to the safety of their side of Summoner's Rift. Both epic monster buffs have expired for these two teams. No more Baron, no more Elder Dragon. It's still going to be a few more minutes before those both respawn. And we are now officially in the late phase of this game.
And see, it's really good for LGD. They were only getting that Elder Dragon to elongate the game. They were behind. They are still behind in terms of the comp. They don't want to go and teamfight OMG. Sure, now that they have triple Guardian Angel up, it's going to work out a little bit better for them. But they just want to abuse these side lanes. And the amount of structure damage, you really have to respect it. I'm not even sure if Xiang can go up against Diana now.
We'll have to check and see if he can. And as SMLZ heads back to base, it means that everyone on Summoner's Rift will have 6 completed items, except for the 2 junglers and the 2 supports. Jojo still sitting on his chain vest, which should be a Guardian's Angel himself, whereas Pink Ward's being picked up for Intruder's inventory here. Baron will be back up in a minute 20. And LGD, they've been the ones that control this pit most of the time. There's been one Baron going off to both these teams. A sneaky pick up from LGD. OMG brute force their way with great vision control. We'll have to see how this next one goes. It's Imp trying to backdoor a turret. I think the recent changes kind of stopped you from doing that one, buddy.
Yeah, they're just trying to look to put as much pressure on this side of the map. Output a lot of these wards. Nice pink ward position. Maybe you get a pick. Now that Baron is coming up, rather than sending Diana to this bottom lane, looks like they're doing that now. They were just trying to see if OMG looks to get the scrap that LG is looking for.
They are still congregating on the top side of the map. Wayless for LGD is being sent down to the bottom lane. The split push there does have his teleport available. Both top laners for the 2 teams, Xiang and Marin, have their teleports as well, but they are grouped up more closely with the rest of their team. Baron is coming back up in 20 seconds.
OMG need to move fast. Right now, LGD, Wayless got blue buff, and now he's going to be looking to shove 2 to 3 waves up until he's starting to threaten this inhib turret. You don't want to wait that long. If you do, then that's a great position for LGD to be in.
6 Guardian Angels on Summoner's Rift at the moment. So both teams looking to try and work around the cooldowns of that major item, trying to pick people off and see if they can get it. As OMG look to try and start this. Baron Marin is almost Mega. They do not want to fight against the Mega Knight in these tight quarters. As a good hook from PYL locks down Xiang. He's down to half his health. Marin is almost Mega. They avoid the ultimate coming out from Poppy. Intruder goes deep inside of the base. And 5 will eat up SMLZ. Intruder tries to flash forward. Icon is dead. Wayless has got an instant backflies. SMLZ has to try and kite his heart out, but he's got a Diana on top of him. The Guardian Angel for OMG's 80 carry is gone. He's back up and alive, but PYL smacks him with the chains to take him down. And now Xiang's going to run for the hills as LGD look to be incredibly strong during this team fight. Only Tre and the Guardian Angel Xiang left alive. It's a 4-kill team fight going in favor of LGD.
Incredible pick by PYL, getting the hook on Xiang, chunking him down to 50% HP. And then once Xiang utilized his ulti so he can get the heck out of that position, he just got converged on, missed completely. And once Wayless got positioning, assassinated SMLZ.
And it's only Tre left to try and defend the base against LGD, but he's being kicked around the map. He tries to run away, and that's pretty much all he can do here as LGD march on towards the Nexus and take game 1 over OMG.
Good God, that was something. OMG had the inside track. They had the game from the very beginning. They had a massive dragon lead. They were taking team fights after team fights, losing a bit of skirmishes here and there. But that didn't matter to them. They were able to pressure. But then once they just slipped up once. That's all you needed. 40 minutes into the game, as the game goes on, you mess up once and it's over.
Certainly seems like what happened in that match there. One slip up coming from OMG is all it took for LG to get back into that game, and they tried to take control. It was dead even between these 2 teams though, Raz, for a majority of this match. And once again, we get another bloody game in this week of the LPL.
Yeah, and that comes back to the major mistake that I talk about OMG. OMG, they can get these leads, just utilizing the map, playing to their game, but it feels like they can't extend a gold lead if they don't get kills in these team fights. They go for these fights. Yeah, sure, they win these team fights. Generally speaking, 5v5 team fights, they can win. Otherwise, you get dragged into these small skirmishes and they lose out completely.
It was actually OMG at the end of that final team fight who looked to try and take down the Baron for themselves. As here was another big play coming out from these two teams. Marin trying to get that big ultimate down, and this was where Icon just did an absurd amount of damage with his Chaos Storm.
Yeah, exactly. You get them that 5v5. Now, Xiang wasn't even there, but that was an amazing positioning from Victor. Not even jumped over this wall, flashed over the wall so he can get that kill. Not going to happen.
And this was the start of something great for LGD here, because even though they got taken down so low here, they were able to also go toe-to-toe and take all the Guardian Angels off of OMG. And there's this final team fight. Mega Gnar in close quarters, threatening the team. Intruder goes deep. 5 did his job, trying to save SMLZ every single time. But he just can't quite save it from the onslaught that was Wayless in this game.
I mean, he had to save Xiang there because Xiang was in a really awful positioning. And I don't fault them for going for that Baron. That Baron was a good look because Diana was looking to split push in that bottom lane. But it came down to it. You have to make a decision where you go for that fight without Diana there or back away completely. They didn't back away. They got picked off for it. And once SMLZ is just off to his own, Wayless with his excellent TP just cleaned it up.
And again, Wayless with an unorthodox pick is able to pick up the game for LGD in Game 1 against OMG. We still have a series on our hand, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back with that second game in just a bit.